Hello? Hello? Yes, I'm speaking now. Oh my god. Wait a minute. Oh, there are two chat boxes up open. Okay, yep. There we go. Sorry guys. Sorry I'm late to stream and sorry there's a lot of tech issues that I need to sort out. We were I've had a long week, mate. Hey Akmaneth, hello. Hello Reiji. There's the audio. Hey JX Demon, welcome in. Welcome in. Oh god. I was playing Mega Man 10. That's nice. Right. So I've had a long week. But what's going on, guys? MJ here, and as you can see, we have a new chat UI. And wherever Jury is at the moment, I would really want to thank her for providing the sources for the CSS code for this thing, because there's apparently a lot of like relatively visually appealing CSS codes that are free to use, and I just didn't know that. So I really want to thank her for bringing this to my attention. And I play Mega Man. Hello, Addycox. Hello. Hello, welcome in. Also started to build Real Great God last night. Wait, and like so far, gonna see if I can finish the rest. Try. I mean, there's nothing better to do than try. And yeah, sorry I was late to stream because we were because my brother's back for Chinese New Year, and we had a hot pot. I proposed we started early just so I could make it to stream on time, but towards the end we were watching Culinary Wars on Netflix, and I had to catch up on a few episodes because apparently season 2's came out. I've only seen episode 1, and my parents, being the individualists that they are, watched all the way to episode 7, and I couldn't even finish episode 2 because I had to make it to stream. But now I'm here. I am very, very sorry for the late start. It's entirely my fault for not checking the proper time. I was looking at the clock under the TV. Apparently it was like a few minutes behind, so yeah. I may or may not have buy my first Kolabukia kit, and it may or may not be Mega Man from Mega Man 11. Don't need to hide it, Akmaneth. You don't really need to hide it. But anyways, today we are going to be building Open Faith from Armored Core 6, and apparently nobody has reviewed this like on the English speaking side, and especially now that everybody is being busy with the Perfect Grade Unleashed new Gundam. And I thought to myself, great, whenever the hell my my Legend Gundam arrives, I can get to focusing on that while people get extremely occupied filming 40-minute videos of the Perfect Grade Unleashed new Gundam. My apology. It's a very good reason to be a little late. Yeah, fair enough. But this is like the reason I want to make it to stream like on time is mostly because of responsibility's sake, but also because I finally get to stream on the weekends, and hopefully because it's the weekends, there will be more of you guys on stream, and just to, I don't know, just to hang out, build together. And of course, Jury is streaming in about 2.5 hours, so let's see if this thing is true to the name of its series, 30-minute missions. So, I definitely won't be, but I want to get this done in a timely manner just so I don't impede on any of you guys who want to go and watch Jury streams. And I may be hanging out there as well for a little bit, because what I did today, long day. I spent 7 hours driving yesterday, which already took a massive toll on me. And then I finished off the principal filming of the Dom video, the G-Quox Rick Dom. And today, I got up a little bit late, well deserved, honestly. And then we went out for lunch, and then I spent the entire afternoon doing, like, painting up my G-Quox Gelgoog, Sugai's variant to be precise. because the paints arrived. Excuse me. And after my hot pot, now I'm here. So, it's been quite a hectic day, and I still have something to do if I hang out with Juri, like on her streams, but it'll be fine. Hey, Praise Hainu, hello there, welcome in, welcome in. I will Orby Squawk, hello, welcome in. Rough day, need a distraction, hi MJ. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear. But feel free to just chill out and just have a I don't know, wind down with me. But today, my god. And I'm gonna wait until a little bit later before I talk about the week that I've had, because on top of anticipating the 20 days off, finally 20 days off of work, I don't have to hear the god-awful radio they have put on the warehouse. I don't have to bother with any of the cases, picking cases, worrying about the hardware, worrying about people being absolute knobs in the warehouse. But yeah, waiting for the 20 days off is definitely something throughout the week. But also, there's just a lot that happened since the last stream, and I'm gonna talk about it in a bit when we are done with welcoming people in. By the way, it was lovely to get to talk to you in VC with you the other day. Finished my buster and everything I was working on there. Oh, your Providence then. Thank you. You're welcome. Damn, 20 days of freedom. Good for you. Yep, exactly. Exactly. So, within these 20 days, I really want to get my 2025 video backlog done. And seeing as my Bai stuff is going to be coming in soon, I can finally finish it off. And also, just to tease you guys, I have a sponsored series, like a 2-part series coming in the well, I wouldn't say near future, but within the next within my holidays, let's say within my holidays, I'm gonna be doing a sponsored 2-part video series. So look forward to that as well. It's gonna be about a proxy site, and hopefully that will help you guys in the long run. Oh my god, this guy has tiny antennas. I'm gonna mess with Transformers, woo. Yeah, MJ got a sponsor video. Yep, exactly. He was excited to see a saloon in the Old West. Is it just because of the blues? Zaku Wario, Real Great Gundam 2.0 for me to try next. Trying to figure out which one I want to tackle. Gundam Zaku Warrior. Howdy, filling in for now. Hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. I really need to get my thing off of the stream analytics. Like, I would open up, but I'll wait until later. But how are you guys doing? What's going on in you guys' lives? Oh yeah, and also, Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Hello, Tron. Welcome in. Favorite on McCoy weapon? Yep, exactly. The laser lance. And like I said, I didn't do much today just because we were at home more for the Chinese New Year season than Valentine's Day. But how have you guys been holding up today? Waiting for my gunpla. They will probably get here in March. Just got back from Chicago Gundam base. Nice. Nice. What do you have any loot from the Chicago Gundam base? China Week? Yeah, exactly, China Week. Gonna what is it? Wait a minute. Waiting for my gunpla probably get here in March. What are you waiting on, Aquaneth? What are we waiting on? I'm personally still waiting on my my HLJ package because for some stupid reason I decided to ship it with FedEx. And it's been stuck in Guangzhou for the last week. And according to the predicted schedules, it's supposed to arrive yesterday. Yesterday. And it's still stuck in Guangzhou. I won't want to. I don't want to check the tracking, because if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, then I'll take it up to HLJ to see what's going on. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I am kind of I'm kind of trying to find the blessing in all of this, because with my package being stuck in Guangzhou and with Chinese New Year coming up, I would assume that it will be held up until the festivities are over. So I probably won't get my Legend Gundam until March. But within the package, apart from the Legend Gundam, I have the tank from the Archivist Advanced Development Division tank from Armored Core. I also have the G-Quox Endymion unit and the fin funnel option parts set. And seeing as everybody is still being really preoccupied with their Perfect Grade Unleashed new Gundam, I would say that it's not necessarily. It isn't necessarily healthy to want to be first, anyways. But even when I try to be, it's gonna be like, yeah, everybody's preoccupied. I don't need to be rushing about it, and which means less like interruptive tasks for me while I focus on getting my 2025 backlog done. But then at the same time, it's kind of frustrating that, yeah, you spent about a day shipping it from Sano to Narita, and then now it's gonna be held up in Guangzhou for the foreseeable future. It's a little bit frustrating. Yeah, the Open Faith really doesn't skimp on the intricacies. I'm gonna cut the safety flags off after I'm done. Oh yeah, by the way, my hands are a little bit dirty. I'm still wearing the good old blue sweater, so yeah, being a little bit. Doing a whole lot of nothing, was kind of bed rotting on my phone while waiting for laundry to be done in the dryer. Finally felt a spark of wanting to do things, so gonna start Luna Saku. Welcome, well, go ahead, have fun with that. The cockroach. Are you gonna review the cockroach? No, I don't think so. I already have enough on my plate. I don't need any more. Can you help me with homework? 15 times 3 plus 11 times 2. You don't even need brackets for that, do you? That's 45 plus 22. That's 67. And because multiplication comes before addition, you don't even need the brackets there. I grabbed this stuff from a bunch of hobby shops around the area. Pick and stream dump. Ah, okay. Stream dump. Oh, come on! I'm so jealous of you! Even though, no, I'm not going to be reviewing the G-Quox Endymion, not a full video anyways. I'm still quite jealous of you to get the new releases already. I'm actually building the Archivist tank right now. How is it filling in for now? How is it? Maybe because of Chinese New Year? I doubt it, honestly, because Chinese New Year festivities don't start until the week it happens. So, with it being held up in Guangzhou, it's just, a little bit odd to me. And it's not like this hasn't happened, because that has happened before. That has happened with my Rising Freedom and Immortal Justice package, where it got stuck in Guangzhou for a couple of days before it got shipped back to Japan. Then it went through Hong Kong and then into Europe and then gets delivered. So I don't know why, but I think after this, since I have no outstanding like open orders left on HLJ, I think I would be steering clear from that. And even if I do have like any open orders left to fulfill on HLJ, there's just so much going on with it that I honestly, like, just rubs me the wrong way. Of course, if you want to support the channel and shop on HLJ, you can use the affiliate links in the description, but there's just so much going on with HLJ, and even if I do have like any open orders left, I will be steering clear from using FedEx, because the mailing system, like my Bai package that contains a couple of things, got shipped at around the same time as my HLJ package, and yet that thing has seen UK soil and it's probably going to be delivered next Monday. And yet my my HLJ package is still stuck in China. So God knows what's happening there. I'm working on the red Gundam. It's fun. That's nice. That's nice. The new high-grade Cosmic Era Legend looks fun. While I don't have the display basis for its dragoons, it's cool. The sass be put to good use. Yeah, and I think they are releasing the weapon bases on their own at some point. Have they released it now, or are they still like a future release that still hasn't gone out yet? I'm slowly working on the red Gundam because it's all I've got because I've been stuck with the port. Oh, that's sad. But hey, enjoy the red Gundam while you can. Because even though there's a lot to touch up for it, it's still a relatively enjoyable build, if I may say so myself. Just started ripping the bags open, I'll post pics later. Sure. Bandai, when making Barbatos adapt to the premium Bandai. Well, it's from a 10-minute short, and it's only seen 2 like minutes of screen time. So honestly, I really don't think it's surprising that the Barbatos Adapt is premium Bandai. But even still, I still don't think that the Barbatos Adapt being premium Bandai should be like anything of a surprise, because like modern day releases are more often than not P Bandai. And especially since we only have like Hathaway at the moment, I highly suspect that this will be the year that we have more premium Bandai stuff in terms of gunpla than retail, which is a sad reality to be in, because there's just it just basically locks like a lot of people out of the hobby just because of where they live. And I honestly just think that it's not a good way to go for the hobby. Like, you have to, like, you don't want to take the risk, that's fine, but locking more of your releases behind like a regional paywall compared to like having like regular releases that you can access worldwide in time, it just rubs me the wrong way. My mother's favorite color is orange, and she was geeking out when I showed her what the Sword Calamity Gundam was. She told me she would really want to get it so I can build it and she can have it in her office. That's wholesome! That's very wholesome! That's very wholesome that even your parents can get behind your hobbies and want to like have a piece of it. Like, for my parents, they are relatively indifferent compared to like other people that I know. And even when I built kits for them, they really don't bat too much of an eye towards them. Like, certainly my mom has had kits in her office, and I had to build it for her, but they wouldn't really geek out as such. So they would just think that it's a nice gesture and move on. Mostly because they're not as into the hobby as I am. I wish for a new build series, just sweep Metaverse under the rug and continue the series before it. I highly doubt it. I think they're most likely done with the build series. It's just me being cynical about Bandai, in all honesty, but honestly, can you really blame me? Yeah, Open Faith, my favorite AC mech. Coincidentally, this mech almost looked like from Rick Dom from Gundam G Quacks. Coincidence? I think not. No, it's not, and I think it definitely has some Rick Dom vibes. I mean, the purple maybe it's just a coincidence, but I think the design of the VE42A legs definitely just give it away. If only like the Dom actually has a lance. And with the release of this thing, I think it would be no surprise that if the weapons of Open Faith get released in a separate set, that they will actually sell out, because people will be like rushing to complete their laser lance pile bunker killer melee combo. Sazabi. Hey Potato, welcome in. Done building the Modern Voltron? That's nice. Hi, hello, I'm an ass. Hello. I've had a long week. Have a nice day. You too. Hand to hand paints the feet heads. Oh, had to hand paint the feet heads. Oh, so you mean you're talking about the Voltron, aren't you? I genuinely don't know much about like other stuff. And by the way, we're gonna be playing Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion tomorrow. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. And hopefully because of the 30 minutes label title giving them kits, like kits from Titanic Scion, that I'll be able to enjoy it more. Like if you guys have played Titanic Scion, how is it? Like I've only seen like clips of Daemon X Machina from just random B-roll that people use to talk about Nintendo, but how is it actually? I've launched the game, I've got the stream layout set up, so hopefully we won't run into tech issues as such. But I want to get like an idea of how the game is. It's one of the better Moderoids if you're willing to paint the yellow and blue lion replacement feet. Yeah, sure. But the way I buy kits is if like I know about them and interested in them. So maybe I'll give Voltron a try, but I don't know. Where is it from? What is it? The regular Voltron's feet, the regular lion heads. You can use the stickers there, though you should paint the reference in all of them. I mean, I think Good Smile Company tends to take on those highly intricate designs, so you'll have to paint them regardless. Like a lot of the Light and Magic kits, they have a ton, and I mean a ton of paint apps that need to be filled in. So it wouldn't be a massive challenge for me. Am I building this wrong? Yep, I am building this wrong. But then again, if I am to put in so much work into a kit, I'd be damn sure I'd be interested in it first. Got any speculation? Hey Tony, welcome in. Got any speculation on how the Earth hunts will continue after Cliffhanger? Given that the clips we've seen from the trailer from before and the key visual they've dropped ever since the game shut down, they'll probably of course upgrade the Asmodee and the Hanshiroboshi, and with Mendo's knowledge, he'll probably understand what Marcosius means and reveal it to the main cast. And then since the end of the Path of the Little Challenger, we actually get to see N, which may or may not be Nemo Baklazan, and also his own guide. Like I think she may be the leader of the guides. There's a name revealed in the credits, I just don't know or remember what it is because it's just in Japanese. So we'll continue from there, and then they'll probably finish. They'll probably get to the first. They'll get to the last point of interest with the help of everybody, and maybe Renzi would be able to exact his revenge on Cyclase, but then they will maybe the hunt will still be continuing after they visit the 7th point of interest, because the whole thing with Iokujan in the series proper is that he actually goes to the colony where Harayel is held. So he'll maybe accidentally reawaken it, and then Harayel will just bust out and hunt down Marcosius. I don't know. I'm just throwing out some guesses based on what we have left in terms of story that's yet to tell, because I feel like it's kind of like a wasted thing. And of course we will also have to see like what happens with McGillis and that stuff, because he is also involved in the story. By the way, those are just theories. However, I am planning to do like a full series recapping, not series per se. I plan to do a video recapping on Earth Hunt, just because of how like unhelpful the movie is in catching you guys up with the story. So that is going to be a long project I will embark on someday, and I really want to try out that sort of content, like a full-on lore dump, and then maybe a lore discussion video at some point, or a lore discussion stream. So hopefully you guys are open to that, and I really want to get it like at least started, because the thing about it is that I need to actually focus on this. I need to, I don't know, I need to watch each episode and at least translate some of it. Oh, there we go. And then make some notes and then move on to the next one. So it's gonna be a very long endeavor, but whenever it comes out, I hope you guys will enjoy it, and then we can proceed to discuss the lore afterwards. And I am so confused about this part. What is it? Why do you use nippers like that? Reverse blade style. That's how I was taught ever since I began the hobby. So don't judge me, okay? That's just how I was taught, and I've made it easier for myself to use it like reverse blade style. Sorry I got here late. No worries, Golden Foxy. I started the stream late as well. I haven't played Titanic Scion, but I've played the demo of the original. Unsure how much it's improved, but I hope it's better. I've only heard that the experiences between the original and Titanic Scion are completely different. And since the original game is like 80% off on Steam at the moment, maybe I'll try it out someday, I don't know. I just don't really want to be gung-ho about my expenditures, because obviously I've spent a lot on others. Like I've had quite a few like emergency expenditures, and also some commissions that I had to pay. So I really want to like hold back on my money spending for a little bit before I commit to any like other projects that I may or may not be interested in. Because like part of the week that I've had is that I ran into a pothole during my drive home one night on a Saturday night as well. And I ran into a pothole, it gashed my tire open. I didn't notice until I got home, because it felt like the steering was a little bit weird. But that pothole was extremely deep, the edges were sharp, and it gashed open my tire. It's a brand new tire as well, which is a massive shame. And so I had work the next day, so I had to call in a mobile tire service, which costed about £160. And then naturally, I was thinking of, on a less serious note, I was thinking of like getting some emojis for the Discord server and the channel. So that's a little bit of money that I need to consider spending. And I honestly just feel like I've been spending so much money, like in the past month. Maybe I really should hold back on my spending until I can, not necessarily get back to a better place, but just balance out my expenditures with my gain or something like that. But it's just a bunch of stuff that's gone on in my head. Daemon X Machina wasn't amazing. It was kind of Armored Core 6 at home, made by old Armored Core devs, but it's kind of safe for me about how good the effects and animations feel. That's nice. Hello Matter, welcome in. I have 40 hours in Daemon X Machina 1. I haven't played Titanic Scion, demo. Since one of the previous trailers had... Okay, Tony Tran, I'll get back to you in a bit. So, yeah. Sounds like not a lot of people here has played Titanic Scion. So hopefully tomorrow's stream will be a bit of a good one and a bit of a positive test. Since one of the previous trailers had second form Aspidate, also had third form Tease 2, Aspidate Hydrobushi Tease 2, they better follow up on that. Because like one of you guys said, Gecko got axed before he had the chance to do the final arc. Why does the kid look like the Zaku 1000 from Gundam Beginning G? It's just a coincidence. Was Stario meeting RG or something? Really? No, there's no way. Killed him 6 times today, just got all the S ranks too. Well, that's nice, retrograde. That's very nice. Documentary style videos are my favorite. That's nice. Miss the MS Data files. I just don't like them anymore. Hopefully we'll see Julieta actually do something instead of Rust Out Summer all over again. Yeah. If you have any standard 30-minute missions kit laying around, could you do compatibility tests? Not on the video, but I'll do it in some other form. Okay. Miss MS files. As for the second form, seeing the no change at all. As Asmodee receives other than hydratable sheet. No, there is a Iman, there's a trailer ever since the game got axed for a sequel, a continuation, and in that we clearly see Asmodee with a very different getup. A113, A114, A13, 14, 15. Okay. So Asmodee will be getting an upgrade, and Hajira Washi will be getting an upgrade. I don't know what will happen to the rest of the cast. Minor at best, we see the top, shoulders, and chest. So we don't know what the rest looks like. Great full beer ghost ship. Pull another UR Providence Gundam on SGG Gen Eternal, 2 stars and limit break material to get the home screen. I'm so happy because this is my favorite Gundam. Congratulations! I pulled some stuff with the gems that they've given in GG Gen Eternal. Didn't get anything that I wanted. I got something from SD Gundam World Heroes, and I forgot what that is already. I really wanted the Kasi Gundam, and then I pulled on the wrong banner. I wanted to pull on the Astray banner, and then I pressed the wrong button. So all my gems are spent pulling the Kasi to no avail, which is a little bit sad. But I honestly just cannot give another toss about the game, mostly because I don't have time anymore. No more time nor energy. $10 is a good price for Demon X Machina in my opinion, but no, it goes for sale for 15 frequently in the past. That's nice. Hey, hi Jews. Hey, some Chinese dude. Are the boosters on these things removable? Yeah, I don't even have the boosters on. This is probably just this is just the chest unit, and maybe where the generator is housed, but the boosters go here in these holes. They're these types of boosters. I forgot what they're called, but there they are. So they maintain the Armored Core compatibility between the entries in the series. Whiskey Sweet Tea Lemonade. Oh, that's a shame. Poor car. Yeah, poor car. That's all. Let's say we don't know the rest. Earth Hunt movie, Valkyrie, new Valkyrie frame, especially the OG Helm Vega. Yeah, maybe. Not getting out hopes for them finishing off the series, mostly because they're bookending the 10th anniversary coming up. But maybe because we still have like we still have Quadrant 4 to look forward to. Maybe that's when they will finish off Iron Blooded Orphans, Earth Hunts, and just put it to rest for good. And I really hope that if they're doing it, I really hope they like finish off the story in a satisfying way, because the way they've ended what they've established now, it's just no. Catcher Inoshi surviving being struck by space lightning while Lon Braun didn't survive it while piloting the Gundam Zagon. No thank you, mate. And I've seen this video, like I've seen a video talking about talking about Earth Hunt, and having people get the character names wrong is just a testament of how uninformative the compilation movie is. Like, it's borderline unwatchable if you don't know the context of the game already. So I really want to rectify that issue, but then again, like I said, it's going to be a very long endeavor. I dropped G-Gen Eternal mainly since it's always keep getting UC URs or repeat URs. Yeah. Greya Maker has a Valkyria unit. Which one? Valtraute? Thinking of Titanic Zion like Anthem, but with fun bosses, but honestly, it's a bit short, and again, the bosses are the fun part. That's good to know then. Typhoon. Bandai really loves to axe stuff. They've been like on an axing spree in like the mid 2020s. Like they've axed Gundam Breaker Mobile, they've axed with IBOG, they've axed not GGen. They've axed Gundam Evo. I don't know, they just seem to be the first ones to jump ship whenever things don't go well. Only reason I haven't gotten my hands on Kisser Armor Core yet is because those things are bloody 70 a pop. And I'm definitely getting the Daemon X weapon set. I haven't really looked into the weapon set, mostly because I want to get the context first, but those weapons look awesome from a glance, and I really hope I get to like experience them in the game before I commit to them. Because if I find the game fun and the design's interesting, I will definitely review some Daemon X Machina kits on the channel as well. MJ, are you staying hydrated? Not necessarily. I really should probably grab some water whenever I can. I've downed like an entire like 900 milliliter bottle of water before I gone on stream, but maybe it's just the fatigue making my voice not sound the best. I don't know, but I just want to keep like hanging out with you guys on stream. Only reason I think I remember you saying earlier talk about the G-Quux Dom, the heat saber handles can use the beam effects and they look so much better, to be honest. I don't think I've mentioned that. I've only mentioned that the G-Quux Dom's saber effects are labeled SB18, so it's kind of like the missing link for like a lot of it. Like there's like this side obsession of mine where I want to like catalog the different beams that Bandai has produced over the years, so as to like correspond like what's SB1, what's SB5, and recently I've just been uncovering like a lot more of those beams, where like SB11 is the perfect grade flat beam, SB12 is the one with the typical beam with the thick bottom, SB13 is the more modern universal size beams. Where's 22? There it is. And then I forgot what SB14 is. SB14, 15, 16 isn't really popping up to the top of my head. Neither is SB15 is the narrow beams from G-Reco. I don't know what SB14 is. I don't remember them. SB16 is the katana beams. I don't know what SB17 and 18. The SB17 I don't know what it is. SB18 they're the Dom sabers that were introduced in the Origin line. I don't know what SB19 is, but SB19, SB20 I have no recollection of. SB21 is introduced with the Granddaddy expansion sets, with the curved beam and the beam javelin beams, and then there's SB22. That came out with the Reben Wolf. Like this is like some sort of side obsession of mine, and I don't know why, but I want to catalog like all of the beams that Bandai has used, just to like make a chart of it for my own obsessions. So that's how it goes. I think the leftover green beam. I used the leftover green beams from my Real Grade Wing Zero EW. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, the Wilds Route lol. Stay hydrated. I shall maybe get a drink like after I'm done with the arms. It's quite simple so far. Like, despite the head using like tiny pieces and my instruction manual catching the light far too well. It's been like a chill build so far with Open Faith. So there it is. I'll get a drink after I'm done with the arms. Just wanna build my personal build and that's it. I got some AC already, but not gonna lie, it bothers me a little, but I can't buy the limbs separately. I just want to build my personal AC, that's it. Yeah, exactly. But that doesn't stop you from selling what you don't need as junk parts. So think about it. Like there may be some people who want the Melander arms but don't want the tetrapod from Liger Tail. Maybe you can just sell that whole hunk of things. It's kind of like a market exchange where we are each other's part shop, if you get what I mean. Hey 2S, how's the kit? It's going fine. It's pretty simple so far. Like the head, I kind of struggled a little bit, and I really am scared to take it apart just to paint in the sensors. I will be comparing it with the game on my own accord later on, so I'll see how much I do have to paint for Open Faith. But besides the head, the chest just needs some precise alignments, but nothing too bad. And the shoulders, they're pretty typical so far. And we're now moving on to the arms, which from the looks of things, they are very simple to put together as well. So I don't know if this is some sort of placebo effect, but I think this may be the simplest one of the Armored Core kits so far. Granted, I didn't build one for over a year at this point, because I've had Milktooth and the weapon sets I have Milktooth, Melander, and the weapon sets just in my backlog for as long as they've been here, and I've been focusing on gunpla, which is slightly regrettable, but it is what it is. But honestly, this may be one of the simplest Armored Core 30-minute missions kits so far, minus the stock variants. I'm thinking of like getting the Melander video out like as soon as possible, just because like for the stock ones, I really don't intend on touching them up, so I can just give you guys the basic information and just get a video out, and that's it. So I hope you guys don't mind the lower effort videos for those particular kits, because I do need a break from time to time. But hey, it's fine. Speaking of beams, what's your favorite beam saber handle? Mine's gotta be the Yakadoga with the heat knife, and I don't like that. But my favorite beam saber, it's hard to say because there's been so many designs, and even more that I haven't come across. So I cannot really tell you what my favorite beam saber design is, because like my mind is literally blank at the moment, and I just want to have a chill stream, chat with you guys, hopefully finish this thing within 2.5 hours before jury streams. But hey, but if I have to say, it would definitely not be the ones that have the generic design. And I think beam rapiers already like kind of lost their novelty ever since they started like using them for like night themed mobile suits. I think the Australian No Names beam saber has to be one of the ones up there. And keep in mind, I did say one of the ones up there, except nah. Check. I have SB1 and 8. SB1 is the massive beams they use for It's the massive ones they use for master grades, the circular ones, and SB8 is the 100 flat beams. So I know what those are. And there's SB5 as well, which is like the long and short blade, which I don't know why they use it for. It's mainly for the G Gundam kits. And I'm already discombobulated. Oh my god. But yeah, Snail, the Arquebus. Snail is gonna crush me underfoot at this point, because I was already late to the stream, and I'm already knackered from the week that I've had. And I'm building his AC with over half an hour, even though it's like a 30-minute missions thing. For just such a simple kit, feels like the pricing on these might be a bit excessive then. To be fair, like Liger Tail has 6 limbs. And I really wish I had my Armored Core kits out, But I think some of that is maybe licensing costs. I don't know. I'm merely just guessing here because is it from software like under Bandai Namco or something like that? Because I genuinely am not really sure. And if they are under Bandai Namco, then why would like licensing be such an issue? Is it because like some other like manufacturing companies have like exclusivity deals with FromSoft or something? Because if I have to guess, like a lot of the costs of these things, of the Armored Core kits, is just all down to licensing. You want to see the AC I did the S rank with I dropped in Stream Dump? Sure. Sure, actually. Oh, come on. Are you trying to flatter me or something? That's literally the Barbasos's Lupus recreated in Armored Core. Granted, you using Alba parts based. Long time no see, how are you doing, bro? There's ups and downs, Chaos Bounty, and if you find my avatar weird, then I'm a little bit sorry. But I'm wearing this new face with pride. Wait, I am onto something. Why IRL's arms have the same color, sleeve color as your VTuber model? That's because I requested it for it because I'm gonna have to give you guys some behind the scenes because when I conceptualized this avatar with Chikutori, I made sure to tell them to make me look as approachable and dare I say huggable as possible. So I brought out like my my comfiest clothes and told them to base the clothing off of what I find comfortable to wear. So that's how it came about. And because they don't want to make it look like it's just straight up pajamas, they've thrown in like the trims on my shoulders. So it's kind of like a reference to not Iron Man. It's a reference to Amuro's Londo Bell uniform. So that's just how. So that's how the avatar came to be. My bad. I need to focus on this a little bit. I am probably building this wrongly, but hey, okay, there we go. There we go. With one part as reference, the other should go on easily. To be frank, Michigan will shit talk Snail after he shit talks you because Michigan's a great homie, not gonna lie. Yeah, definitely. They're basically paying themselves for licensing, so they're sponsoring themselves to appear in a model kit line. Gee. I feel like the Armored Core kits. I feel like for the Armored Core kits, I hope they release more grey versions of the base. Fingers crossed, man. I do past Armored Core titles. Okay, so with the revelation we just had, I highly doubt it. But in terms of releasing more stock variants, sure. Might as well go ahead and release some like stock originals, like that tank, instead of releasing Umber Ox. I like the crossbow buster sword. Wait a minute. Nobel sabers are cool. Yeah, Nobel sabers are cool. I like the beam Jute, some rifles, Banshee Norn, GPO 4. Yeah. I mean, bayonets. Bayonets are cool. Can you integrate small voice lines into your streams because it'll be funny that he can shit talk you? I'll do it when I feel like it, Yovi. To be honest, I'm currently unsure what the red frame used with cherry frame now because turn red has the extra weapon arms can represent the tail segments, but I want the one from build. Just go with what you want, mate. And if you're painting warm colors, make sure you have some pink primer handy, because with pink primer, if you paint like, especially like colors on the warm spectrum like red, orange, and yellow, they'll pop far more with a pink primer base compared to just bare plastic. I've made that mistake in the past, and I really wish I knew that sooner. So Yeah, and because like red is like one of the most obnoxious colors to paint because of how hard they are to deal with, I'd rather just be safe than sorry, go for like paint primer before anything else. So if you're choosing to paint like an astray into like a cherry frame, it doesn't really matter which one you pick so long as you have paint primer handy. FromSoft is its own thing I see. So Bandai is the publisher. So FromSoft is a completely different studio that's just asking Bandai to publish it. I see. No wonder there's a licensing issue right there. So that especially makes it more unlikely. Bandai just publishes the game and the franchise. FromSoft still owns Armored Core IP. Yeah, unless FromSoft is a standalone company that Bamco just fronts the production costs of. Yep, maybe. Considering what we've been told on the stream right now. I see. Thank you, some Chinese dude. So FromSoft like Bandai only steps in with the global releases. Got it. That's good to know. Okay, given how radical mobile suit designs have become as of recent, how long do you think it'll take until a Gundam has armored core weaponry? I mean, aren't we already there with beam rifles and whatnot? And we've already had pile bunkers in IBO. And granted, that's coming from me, whose only Armored Core understanding is from Armored Core 6. So I don't know if I'm one to say about it, but there will definitely be overlaps. I mean, they've asked Wataru Inata to come on and design Gundams for Wish from Mercury. So that's why there's like some design cues between like Armored Core 4 and the Pale Industries designs, like the Far Act and the Zoort. And especially now that we know that Wataru Inata was also responsible for designing the Gundam Nyan, and that already has like a crap ton of references piled into it. It's only a matter of time before like more Armored Core designers get brought onto the Gundam franchise and design for them. But why not? We already got who is it again? The guy who designed Evangelion. My bad. Ikuto Yamashita. That's Natsu. So we've already gotten Ikuto Yamashita to come and design for Gundam. And what's next after this? Because they cannot keep relying on the same like artists for Gundam anyway. And honestly, if it weren't for JNT Head designing the Shinsei and the Vanadis designs, which wouldn't have as much variety as they do, because we can very much see that Yanase is still stuck to that one design language where everything looks like it's from 00. And then of course we have Kanetaka Ebikawa, which can be very easily made out. And then Ipe Gyobu, well, yeah, Ipe Gyobu, we already know like what his design language is in the Gundam franchise. And to be fair, when Ipe Gyobu got brought on for G-Reco, you can like slightly tell that he designed like something like the G Arcane and the Montero, but compare that to his like more recent designs, and you really cannot tell that they're designed by the same person, if you don't really go into it with knowledge anyway. So I really want them to bring in some more like new designers into Gundam, just so we have like some sort of variety. Naturally, parallels will occur. There's no avoiding that, but it's only a matter of time before like all the different mecha designs come together in Gundam, at the very least. Very Camille. Yeah, Michigan died from a bad fall, yeah. That's probably why FromSoft is still functional in Japan while other servers tend to die faster. Loadout-wise, I mean, you know, missile shoulders, beam cannons, mounted blades, yeah. We need reverse leg and the VP tri-cannon. Oh, that thing used by King. Yeah, we need it. And honestly, I tried to do a meme build with the tri-cannon, and I could never get like a good like reactor output for it. I just wanted to faff about in the simulation mode. So that's kind of what brought that about, but it's an inefficient build at the end of the day, so it doesn't really go anywhere. I wonder if there's a version of your VTuber where you're using Char's newborn Neo Xeon CCA uniform and you'll be evil. I'm not that into Xeon, so maybe not. And I don't really plan to play a character with my avatar, because like the whole reason that I wanted an avatar is just so it can be like a face to my voice. Not to necessarily play like sort of play a character like how a lot of VTubers do with their communities, like Narissa with this jailbirds and whatnot. So this is merely just a face to a voice, it's nothing more than that. And so, not unless I find some special occasion to like get some costumes commissioned, then I wouldn't be doing much else besides adding more like expressions to the stream loadout, or adding more, well, more expressions in general, or adding just some default emojis that I still have yet to commission. I've seen like a couple of them on, oh my god, this is gonna be precarious. I've seen a couple of them on VGen, and I have bookmarked an artist for myself, so that whenever I feel like actually hitting them up, I can. Maybe I'll hit them up like soon, actually, given that I have like 20 days off. Okay. We're going on the... I wish I had Kane's powers from the Amazing Digital Circus so I can censor myself. I don't have that power anymore. Hey jury, welcome in! Maybe it's the angle? Nah, I hastily put this together, so it may just be the lights, it may just be just other stuff, but hey. If it looks better, it looks better, so thank you so much. The boy has missile shoulders, mounted blade. Is there an insurance company on all Gundam universes? I don't know. Have you seen the HJ Zepar and Hagenti? I like how people are spreading misinformation after seeing them. Yes, I've seen them. No, I don't know about the misinformation. But honestly, people are getting their hopes so far. I got the wrong runner. People are getting their hopes so far up, especially with those coping Facebook leaks that came out a couple days, like a week or two ago. Yeah, I just think people really just need to stop. And first of all, stop with the copium leaks and just wait for Bandai to announce them. And second of all, read the context, because if I'm guessing correctly, people are misinforming others just because they don't know that it's like an HJ web build that's going to be featured in the magazine instead of an actual release. Like, they got me with the Gamma-Jin like a couple years ago when I saw that on the HJ web builds. But then thankfully I saw that it is an HJ web build, and so I stopped myself from expecting that there will be a high-grade Gamma-Jin because of it. So people really just need to stop being like either sheep, or like they need to read the context for themselves. Like, especially coming from a scientific background where I studied psychology, and like being scientific about stuff like fact checking and whatnot, that sort of stuff just really grinds my gears. It really grinds them. Witch from Mercury is basically anime version of Armored Core 6, except executed far poorer than Armored Core 6 itself. Since like everything is blown up and destroyed, there's most likely an insurance company to pay for all the damage fees. I don't think so. Not unless they're mentioned in the franchises themselves. But ultimately, even back in like Tomino times, Gundam is still a cartoon at the end of the day to convey a message. So yes, we get that war is bad, but I don't think we can look at Gundam as seriously as we do in real life, because it's a cartoon at the end of the day. A very heavy-handed cartoon, sure, but a cartoon nonetheless. If you have to think about so many logistics going into making your own cartoon, no matter what the message is, it would just be unnecessary hindrances. Not unless they establish like insurance companies in the world of Universal Century. Then we can talk. Yeah, there's all. Discover something really interesting. With the 90s no grade 1-144 kits that have 8 standard shaped polycaps, it's very easy to modify an entry grade joint to replace them. Ah. Azrael Thanatos. That's a pretty good discovery. Would you mind showing me how in my Discord server? We even got air in Wish for Mercury. Wataru Yunata made Nyan. No wonder it feels very pale Industries. Yeah, Wataru Yunata made the Nyan. Air. Oh, you mean? Oh yeah. I understand who Air is. You're drawing parallels between Air and Eric. Current loadout is 2 different miniguns, the big cannon from the fight against the big metal danger noodle, and the shoulder-mounted rocket. So basically, heavy firepower then. Just pure firepower. Alright, B2, B1. So 2-1 go to the right, and then 3-4 go to the left. Okay. Maybe it's the angle. Will you ever get a pilot suit though? With this getup, maybe not, but with this, maybe. Because I can retract my ears and tail anytime. I was cringed from Snail screaming in his lungs that he is Archivist. I can't write the name, bruh. I didn't play Armored Core 6 though, but I did watch videos of it. I need to look at the quote before I'm even able to do the impressions. Because it just feels wrong if I don't quote him entirely. I can just easily simply go, I am Archivist! But then again, it just won't hit as hard without ad-libs and warm-up. You know what I mean? Okay. Jury, yeah! Praise Hainu, Jury is in the stream. Although I think she may be lurking and preparing for her own stream, so I really don't blame her. We're like 15 minutes from it, so maybe we'll raid her? Maybe? Like, of course, granted, she may get like far more viewers than I do. But 20 more is 20 more, am I right? Snell dying screaming is the best part of that mission in my opinion. Oh my god, I hated that mission. Like, I ultimately resorted to using like freaking stun needles and stuff to finish him off. So, and that kind of like ruined the fun for Armored Core for me, because like if I have to resort to meta builds in order to finish like people off, it's just feels like there's no variety in the game, and that's kind of like the sort of thing that drives me nuts about these types of games, is that there's always a meta loadout to everything that's like a one-size-fits-all solution. So ultimately, even with the build variety of the game, it just doesn't really matter in the end. So first time around, he just throws like random Riser Sword beams and pulse bombs at you with the Arquebus Balteus. It's just overwhelming to me. And because I wanted to get through the story, I just gave up and went with the and gave into using the meta builds. But ultimately, I think I S-ranked that mission at some point. I think I used a reverse joint and I think like some pulse some pulse launchers. I forgot. It's been a long time since I've like properly played Armored Core 6. But there were so many missions that I just raged at just because I had to resort to meta builds. Probably the junk guild from Seed. Yeah. Fact checking in the Big 26, no way. Yeah, people are so mindless today that they barely like resort to fact checking. And I mean, like the rise of AI has to do with this. Like they trust AI completely that they just don't do their fact checking themselves, which really just drives me nuts. Anybody play Front Mission? No, I haven't played Front Mission before. Oh wait, I forgot people can see my current build properly because I released 2 shorts on my video channel based on Armored Core for gameplay. I'm weird, I found the bosses in Armored Core 6 easier than the actual AC fights, but I agree, there's a sort of flatness to the gameplay after a while. Yeah. Well, I mean, I figured out the boss like stuff thanks to my brother, and because when I was going for the S ranks, I cannot reset. So I had to fight through the mission like in one go. Yep, there we go. So I tried out different builds and then landed on the reverse joints. And honestly, if you can jump high enough, no boss will be able to reach you. And that's kind of like how I got my S ranks for different bosses, like the Operation Wall Climber, Operation Kill the Ice Worm, and especially with the All Mine boss from the end. I managed to S rank that by the skin of my teeth. So I really got to hand it to my brother for showing me that one laser pistol reverse leg combo that really did wonders for me trying to like S rank a lot of the bosses. And with the All Mine boss in particular, I resorted to using Rusty's trusty blade, the laser slicer, and great, that thing just packs a punch. That thing just packs a lot of damage into it. I wish I could play AC6 mode. What's stopping you, Yovi? You think we'll see EB07 in Earth Hunt since it's in the middle of S1 and S2? No. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know what more to say about Earth Hunt just because there's really no information that's come out in the past. But given how the animators say that Wedge of Interposition took place after Season 2, in that one title screen, you know they just don't really want to follow things sequentially anymore. I'd love to see you play through the original Armored Core games. It will be a massive faff if I'm honest, just because I'll have to emulate them on my PC and I don't know how to record them with OBS and that stuff. It will just be a massive faff that may not be worth my time. Honestly, I really hope they just port over the other games, but then again, there's also that licensing issues that you guys have mentioned. So it will be a faff on either party. Yeah, I'm no longer going for full X ranks. I feel like it just marred the experience. Yeah, but initially I was just playing for fun and just for the story, I suppose, and mostly just to get the context of the kits that I was gonna review. But ultimately, I did have fun with it, like after a while, and I thought going for the S ranks would just be a good way to pass the time. And well, what do you know? I was a little bit right on that regard. But I haven't played Armored Core in a long time, so my skills have gone rusty. But I will be popping on Armored Core to just cross compare Open Faith, like the kits with the actual game model. And you know the funny thing is, Open Faith in the presets has no weathering at all. So that saves me a lot of time. Emulations are a lot easier to do now, except for PlayStation 3. Emulation is easy, but OBS can be a bitch to set up. I'm using Streamlabs, but I'm assuming that will be like the same thing, like the same struggles and whatnot. Just heard my mum sneeze. But yeah, and I'll just hold off on those ideas for now, since I want to try streaming Daemon X Machina just to see how people take to gaming streams on the channel. I think it would be interesting to see a Gundam show that critiques the whole war bad message. And no, I'm not saying war is good, just a show that challenges Gundam's core beliefs. Basically Seed, I suppose. I don't want to be too cynical, I'm not a writer. Am I even doing this right? Because this is a C-clip joint, and I really don't want to risk breaking it. I'm gonna take off the arm and do it. It's just extra armor pieces, it's fine. Yep, there we go. Precise alignment wins the day again. So that's kind of, I think, the challenge of building these parts. It's just the alignment needs to be precise. Iguazu is such a loser, man, but he could kill Raven if our voice in the head intervened and helped Raven. Yeah, I suppose. Buddy, we have a planet to burn. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm kind of stuck at the moment, but have you guys ever seen like streams that you literally find hard to watch? Not for any reason, but mostly because of how stupid the streamer is. Like recently, I've been listening to a lot of Pizza Tower streams from Fiznum, and it's a great listen, but I find it hilarious, like how some people don't even have like the general knowledge to, let's say, not put metal in a microwave, and they will die on that hill to say that, oh, putting metal in the microwave is fine because it's not gonna cause a house fire, and even if there's gonna be fire, you can just put it out with the water from the tap. It's like, come on, like there's stupid, and then there's that. Like sometimes there's just some stuff that gets extremely hard to watch just because of how like blatantly obvious something is, like how blatantly wrong something is, and yet the person in question will still die on that hill. I don't know. We need an Iguazu kit. Some Chinese do. We actually have the Melander. Damn it. We actually have the Melander frame, and we have the rifle for Iguazu. So all we really need is that shield, as far as I remember. We need like his specific version of the pulse shield, and then we'll do. Be careful, man. This topic can go awry. Now, I'm not pointing fingers. It's just that there is Am I doing this wrong? Yeah, like me, right now. Like me getting some build stuff wrong. What the heck am I doing wrong? This went in fine. This went in fine, but what about the other one? What am I doing? Is there a nub trapped in there or something? Yup. There is an up trapped in there. Great. Now it should be clear. There we go. Iguazu's the Melander G3, so it's a different thing. Oh yeah, right, yeah. No, wait, didn't Iguazu just upgrade to the G3? Or does he use the G3 from the start? Because I know he does use all mine parts in the third route. But I kind of lost track of his upgrades. Last time with Core 6. Now it was Freud. Blank models aside, who do you think is next? We have Freud. I don't think we're gonna get any of the minor characters, to be fair. I think we may get someone from R&D. So maybe Cinder Carla or Chatty Stick. That's my guess anyway. Because if they have to stick to main characters, they might as well just go for the ones from R&D. Nah, Tenderfoot is a full C3. Tenderfoot is a full C3. He gains the Mine Alpha arms by the second underground mission. Yeah, I got the all mine part, but it's just that the original Melander and the other variant just looks so similar from a glance that I just kind of struggled to tell the difference. It's significantly different. Reverse Leg is stuck on that mercenary, I forgot his name. Wait, I'll have to check the game in a bit. I'm not that knowledgeable on those parts, mostly because I didn't use them. I was stuck with that, you know, the tetrapod, the small tetrapod, like the lanky tetrapod that can transform into something like a plane on the bottom end. You know the parts I'm talking about? Like that, those are the parts that I really want to see released in kit form. And as promised, I finished the arms, so I'm gonna go grab a drink and be right back. I'm back, what did I miss? Cold Steel. Yeah, I think so. It's either Dead Sled or someone else. Oh, Lamagri. Is that German? Quick start revaluation. I want them to do at least one Liberation Front character so I can get some Basho parts. Or maybe they'll just do the junk AC from that one escape mission. Or am I confusing another AC? I forgot. It's so long since I've done any like Armored Core 6. So forgive me for if I misremembered something. All right, so I need. Oh yeah. They built the waist and the legs together. No wonder. These are bulge. Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, I'm an idiot. I just literally said that they build the legs with the waist, and here I was worrying about the hip compatibility. My bad. Never knows. I feel like Armored Core 6 was lacking in the number of independent mercenaries. 29. Was there a lot of them in the other titles? I like the lamb part since one of my favorite builds used the head from that set. And I honestly want them to do the lamb parts, like even if it's as a stock one, because the legs are like one of my primary parts that I've used. Like I was kind of against the idea of tetrapods before, but in the end I grew to love tetrapods, mostly because of their hovering capabilities. Never know when those are going to be reissued. Most of the roster are corporate sign-ons or gorillas, yeah? I think so? Not unless you count the count Branch. Yeah, Branch is Branch. They're independent mercenaries, but the rest of them are either from the corporations or the Liberation Front. Nothing like a good old zero sugar 7-Up to pick me up. How's the build? The build's fine so far. And from the looks of things, we're gonna be able to get. Oh my god, we're probably gonna be able to get the body done, and then I can. How to? Oh. Oh, okay. So they actually have different crotch parts for whether or not you want an action-based port. That's gonna be interesting, actually, because I don't think I've ever seen something like that, where they use different parts to, like, literally different armor parts to provide the action-based port. So that's gonna be interesting to see how they executed on that. Hey, Dark Raven, I want Flatwell's AC for the Fermese parts. Actually, I don't really have any more preference. Like, apart from the lamb parts, I don't really have preferences as to which parts get released. I just want more variety. So, something I mentioned earlier, but I never expected someone to ask me for recommendations specifically for a real grade. I did tell them to avoid the ones I remember to have problems. I mean, you've been in the hobby for some time. Like, at least, like, some amount of time. So, naturally, you'd get asked, like, recommendations, like, sometimes, anyways. Like, because of the nature of my channel, I get asked, like, some recommendations from time to time as well. So, don't be surprised. Right. Well, in the other games, there weren't as many corporal ACs. So, it's kind of like a balance then. So this time they balanced more towards the corporations to tell the story. Meanwhile, the others balanced more towards the independent mercenaries. That's interesting to know. And if possible, I would want to try and emulate Armored Core 4. Or either 4 or 4 Answer. Just because, like, whenever people think of Armored Core, they immediately think of White Clint, and I really want to know what his deal is, without going for lore videos and the like. Just so I don't spoil myself. AC4 and Fallout 4 have corporate specific mechs, but generally in the previous games had ravens who had a patron were in the minority. Oh, I see. I see. Steel Haze or 2s on 30-minute missions format. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That's good. The old AC games that were less characters that openly associated with specific corporations. I see. As a LEGO fan, gunpla model kits have been a new obsession of mine, honestly. With the stupidly high recent prices at high-class LEGO, gunpla is looking like a far better option than ever before. Depends on how much you like about gunpla, honestly. Because I don't know, there's such a wide range of it that you can't possibly like all of them. And like this kind of brings me to another topic that I want to bring up. Because there are definitely some people that point towards the Perfect Great Unleashed new Gundam, saying that has Gunpla hiked their prices recently, and I'm not gonna say anything on that matter because I don't really have a stance on it. But there are some people who say that it's just not made for you who don't want to spend that much money on it, and it's not in like a malicious way because Gunpla itself already has like a wide range of stuff that people of varying budgets can enjoy. So for the people who wants to experience like the top end of the scale with something like the Perfect Great Unleashed new Gundam, then they have the model kit to go for. But for me, let's say, I enjoy the more casual side of things, and to get like more variety and more Gunpla for on the cheap for each individual unit. So that's why I kind of like high grade so much. So it really just depends on what you like, honestly. But obviously the variety with high grades is kind of what I like about it to begin with. Okay, so here's how it works. So just slide this down, take it off, and we can just replace it with the one with an action-based port. It will look a little bit worse, but honestly, for that kind of functionality and simple execution, I'm all for it. That is, if I can get this off and replace it with the... It was so easy to do, why can't I do it now? Oh, there we go. There we go. And okay, now we move on to the legs. Actually, the legs. Just snapped Demon X Machina on Steam. Can't wait to play it before the second installment and grabbing the 30-minute mission model kits. That's nice, Shiro. That's nice. God, I want the Alba. Same. What do you prefer for Snail's loadout? The stun gun, the stun needle launcher, or the laser rifle, diffuse laser cannon? What? That's not even a question, 29. Because the one part that I like about this, well, the two parts that I like about this loadout is the stun needle launcher and the laser lance. Because like I said earlier in the stream, the laser lance pile bunker combo is like my default go-to. Because I personally like charging it with the lance's charge attack and then just ruining their ACS load, and then just drilling them in the face with the charged up pile bunker. So to finally have the parts to replicate that killer loadout is honestly something of a dream come true. And granted, I don't think you can mod the pile bunker to work on both sides. Well, not easily anyway. But imagine just having like a whole like arrangement of these on your mech, and just the devastation that comes with it. Mate, you're gonna be in for a good time, especially now that we get to customize them ourselves. Actually customize them ourselves instead of like having some game restrictions. And honestly, I find it like rather silly that you cannot equip melee weapons onto the right side when you could in the other Armored Core titles. Or have I just gaslit myself, or am I right? Rubiconian double high five. Yep. Gundam Assemble, I mean. Gundam Assemble. Do you mean the minis? To be honest, the OG White died, and the I just become White pilots of Armored Core for answer. Oh, so they continue from each other. I see. Wait a second. The combo's pretty fun, but I like using the knife and Rusty's spinny sword more as melee options. Okay, so so I think the laser blade and then the laser slicer. I mean, the laser slicer hurts a lot, and that weapon literally carried me through the All Mine boss fight when I was gunning for those S ranks. And it's a pretty good combo in all honesty. And I have I just have 2 of them spare because I accidentally bought 2 weapon set 6 because one of them I was just getting along with Open Faith from another source, but then HLJ decided to fulfill my order for the weapon set, so now I have a second one. I mean, more laser slicers couldn't hurt, I don't think. It's just rather funny to me. Thoughts on Assemble, by the way? Thoughts on Gundam Assemble? They're just dipping into the Warhammer market, and I think because of how silent they've been, it's just something that they're trying to pander to and really didn't take off. Like, granted, I'm not a Warhammer person, so take what I say with a grain of salt, but I think that, and I haven't been keeping up on that project at all, but I think it's kind of like dead in the water because I haven't heard like anything else from it. So I don't know what's next for that, actually. I don't know what's next for that. And plus, painting miniatures really isn't my thing. Like, I had to push myself to paint the Mandala Gundam's mini mandalas. So it's not a market for me. But if they do eventually come out with more stuff, then it'll definitely be more enjoyable. But at the moment, I'm perfectly content with settling for like homemade tabletop games that use like gunpla as their chess pieces instead of having to do like the whole painting thing again. And especially I think because like the Warhammer scene is like very different compared to gunpla. Like people can get really obsessed with what they do, whereas gunpla we just do whatever. Because with Warhammer you kind of like feel a push to really doll up your kids to the nines. Because they come in this primer gray and with many intricate details and whatnot, and because they have a lot of shading options as well, people just feel like doing as much as they can to it. Whereas gunpla or just something, well, just anything with Bandai, if I'm honest, we just feel like we can do whatever we want with it just because we can appreciate the kid's stock. We can do like a little bit of panel lining. We may go all out and just destroy our kits just for a diorama, and all of those options are perfectly fine. I don't know if I'm talking on my arse, but that's my take on things. Yeah, the minis, they did a marketing push in the early 2025 for some reason and just used it to push the card game. Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm not for certain. I think they were restricted to the left for the most part. Oh, for the Armored Core melee weapons. I think Armored Core 4 with the Moonlight Sword. I've seen footage of older Armored Cores having the ability to put melee weapons on both arms. And I feel like it's kind of silly that they didn't do that for Armored Core 6. Mostly because it would be very, very funny to have like double Rubiconian handshake. Just curious, but would you ever share your main build? I don't have a main build that I'm working on. Although I do have some like custom build like replication ideas that I've had for a long time. So I want to execute those ideas as soon as I'm done with the 2025 backlog. So look forward to those videos because I want to do something different. Like the whole thing about this year and this avatar is that I want to do something different. But I just didn't have the room to do it because I was playing catch up for the better part of the last year and a half. So definitely please look forward to more of my future videos because I want to branch out from just doing reviews and that stuff. I want to do some custom build videos. Maybe I won't be doing them as good as maybe some other channels are doing it, but it's something I still want to do regardless. Especially since I have like at least 4 or 5 outstanding build fighters projects that I want to do. That I just really want to feel that like the satisfaction that I did after building the Freedom Gundam Plane Feather, if you know what I mean. Because something about doing custom builds is that yes, they can get intimidating, but once you finish your project, it's an extremely satisfying feeling to, like, even if you're just replicating a build, it's extremely satisfying to sit back and look at like the progress that you've made and also like your own handiwork. And like I said, even if it's just a replica of a custom build, you'll like personally, I'll still feel proud about myself. Oh, me and my friends did. Some of my friends are still doing that. You mean Warhammer? Oh, making rules for a tabletop gunpla game. Oh, I see. That's nice. And like I said before, I've seen like a tabletop gunpla game with yes, my apologies. I've seen a tabletop gunpla game in Day of the Gundam last year. So maybe it would be a good idea to like gather a bunch of gunpla fans and just play. And yo, you're building the chonker. Yes, I am. After I was done with another chonker from yesterday. So 13, what is it? 13, okay, 13 goes on the right, and then the other part goes on the left. Honestly, I'm just gonna get the minis for Lancer games, tabletop RPG, and or so that I have a collection of ships. Fingers crossed they do some of the cool UC ships like the Magella, Salamis Kai, Albion. It's probably for balance. Oh, that's a different message. But yeah, hopefully they do more ships. Fingers crossed. Like especially with those with some of the more legendary ones, like the Archangel and the Lavion Rose. They've done kits of them before with the EX model, but they're 1440 scale. And I think they reissued those ships in 2023, I think. And maybe because of the limited market appeal of actually buying ships that are off scale, that you may be able to find like an EX model something, well, EX model Lavion Rose. But at the very least, if they're doing more ships for as Gundam miniatures, then maybe they should translate the ones they have in EX model over to miniatures. I almost cut that peg. Jeez, that was close. But when I'm saying main build, I meant for Armor Core 6. I'll throw it in I'll throw it somewhere later on. Because I've used like varying variety. I can't even word right now. I've used a lot of different builds to get me through different levels. So I don't really have a main build that is like one size fits all. So you may not be satisfied with my answer. But I will show you the one that I'm most satisfied with in a bit after stream. And, but I do want to see the stuff you're talking about. They'll be coming at some point this year, and especially with more painting projects. I want to wait for the weather to warm back up before I do any of it, because painting in such cold weather, it's a faff for all aspects. because I don't know if I talked about this before on stream, but if you paint like lacquer paint or do top coat in temperatures under 15 degrees Celsius, then they'll have a risk of frosting up, and that's not a good thing. So that's why, like, for example, today I was painting up the G-Quack Skelgoog, and I had to bring a hairdryer to the garage, just to keep the drying area warm, just so my paint doesn't frost up. Granted, I was doing like lighter colors, so frosting up wouldn't be that obvious, but in the end, I still wanna be safe than sorry. So for those custom build projects, I wanna wait until like maybe March or sometime like that. Regretfully, because it will be far past my 20 days off by then. But I want to wait until the weather warms up so that I have like more of a reason to stay in the garage to paint up my kit without much worry or hassle. Sometimes I forget that these come with big ass pieces. I feel like Raven had good color separation. Yeah. Too bad the color doesn't match. What do you mean the color doesn't match? You don't mean to tell me that Open Faith is molded in the wrong colors, do you? Because if they are, I'm gonna be in a bit of a shock. Sent in the Discord. Ah, there it is, Archangel. That's nice. I didn't catch up on the tabletop on the minis. I'm sorry. I didn't know an Archangel already exists. Chunky suits on my I cannot wait for my Elysius. Won't arrive until July. Chunky suits on my mecha type, clearly. Nice. Brother, there's already a gun. Yeah, I sent in Discord. A Raisin, what Dream Team Gundam Build Fighters type build. Most OP combination. Before that, do you mean, like, what's the limit? Like, do I have all, like, access to all gunpla we have now, or just the ones up until Build Fighters Try? Because that would change the story by a lot. No limit. Okay, so I wouldn't want to jam like various different like overcharge systems, because that would be cheating and very hard to handle. But if I have to say, well, personally speaking, I genuinely don't know, because my melee my style is definitely melee. But my dream build, given how wacky the Build Fighters series is, it's kind of hard to tell, but anything that uses the Gundam frame and makes it like unique. So I'm talking about using a Gundam frame and making your own original design over the frame, instead of making it like a variant of like any existing Gundam frame. So that would be kind of like my dream build. And of course, for me personally, I want to just keep to using swords and that type of stuff. Anything to keep it melee. And that'll be the most satisfying for me. No point cost. Does not need an official kit. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you get stuff like the G Portent, which doesn't have a Sakibure base kit, or the Gundam The End, which literally has no base kit at all, then that's kind of like the stuff we're talking about. Because I want it to have like, I want it to be based on Iron Blooded Orphans for one, because obviously, but I want it to be like an original designed Gundam frame instead of it being something that's a variant of another design. You know what I mean? Just curious, anyone else build the Kotobuki and Mega Man kits? I know if you're looking forward to the upcoming kits for Iris and Sigma from Mega Man X. Nah, not really. I haven't been, I'm not really engaged with Mega Man. Mostly because I haven't been introduced to it properly. I know of it, but I haven't played the games. I'm more the type to make full stories on my Gundam and keep it in my head for way too long, because I keep procrastinating on my projects. It's better to, like, make notes about those whenever they pop into your head. I know that the hard way. Joining the fray, Ultimate Flowers Custom. Yeah, what would be a good control scheme for a Build Fighter style game anyway? It seems like pretty hard to come up with a control scheme for moving in 3 dimensions. GBO2 is kind of clunky. Maybe something like Extreme Versus? Something like Extreme Versus combined with Bonds of the Battlefield. So you know where you so Bonds of the Battlefield is like an arcade thing where you actually pilot the actual mobile suit. So maybe something like that mixed with the fast pace of Extreme Versus. That would probably be ideal. Did you see the third-party Else Quanta? I know it's rendering, but it looks decent. Yeah, I've seen it, and to be honest, if it's a 1:144 scale, then I would definitely hop on that train, but since it is a 1:100 scale, I want to see what's what before I do, like, purchase it. Right, so I forgot about these parts. But if it's a fully functional Else Quanta, then sign me up. And on that note, I've actually seen the third-party, what is it? The third-party 1:144 scale XCI Repair 4. And whenever that releases, oh boy, you guys are going to be in for a treat. Because I am definitely going to be reviewing that kit whenever I can. Gundam Breaker was pretty nice, if a little shallow for gameplay. Well, for the control scheme of Gundam Breaker, that would be fine as well. Although I'm thinking of Bonds of the Battlefield, just because we actually get to control the bots, instead of like being constrained by preset combos and that type of stuff. Daichi GBC Studio Exia, the one that's based on the Metal Build design? Yes, exactly, and they're doing a Repair 4, which I'm definitely gonna be reviewing whenever that comes out, because like it's one of the kits that I really wanted to have, like ever since like couple of years ago. A 1:144 scale. What is it? A 1:144 scale Exia R4. For example, I have no idea. I had to wonder how the upcoming real great kits for the Ingram and Patabalor is going to be engineered. I built the Aoshima kit for that mech design, and it's quite cool. They haven't revealed anything about the real grade Ingram yet, but I suppose some point this year they may do another direct and talk about it. Obviously not on the Gundam channel, but I suspect they would be doing like more marketing schemes for it, mostly because it's something new to the real great line. Wait a minute. Not enough IBO kits in GBO4, not gonna lie. Yeah, indeed. I really like for Gundam Breaker 4. I really wish they would have implemented a lot of the roster from Gundam Breaker Mobile, because all they really have to do is just code in new combos and just port the models in. But it's kind of a shame that they've just decided to end support for it. Like, as far as I know anyway, because the latest thing they've added in is the Gundam EX and the G Quux, which is like over a year ago at this point. And if there are any new mobile, like any new gunpla that's released into Gundam Breaker 4, I have no knowledge of, just because I haven't been keeping up. What other non-Gundam kits have you considered building? Marble King, I have put up a poll about that, and I have a China pla that I want to build on stream, if you guys are open to it. Because ultimately, like, the streams are a test, and if there's enough demand for it, I'll keep doing it. But there's a China pla that I want to build, and that's the Arcade Pink 2, which is based on the Extreme Gundam Explosion. And since that is like one of the only opportunities that I'm ever able to get something close to an Extreme Gundam, I jumped on that chance. So I want to build that on stream someday. Maybe 1 or 2 streams within this rest period from work, just so I can get at least part of it done. Because, like, looking at the runners for that thing, it's definitely an very intimidating kit. I'm not gonna lie. Just because of how much stuff is on there. So, I wanna get that built on stream. And I've also had the DX scale Ikaruga for quite some time, and I haven't built that. And maybe if you guys want to, I will build it on stream as well. The Ikaruga from Knights and Magic, by the way. Hey George, welcome in. It's not that new, we had, yeah, a while back, but Evas and Ingrams are different franchises, are they not? Like, I know people are used to, like, real grades, like, expanding outside of Gundam, but then again, a real grade Ingram is a real grade Ingram, and it's a new franchise they're adding into the real grade line. I mean, they've tried to add Galgaigar into the line, and honestly, those related kits performed quite well, but then again, have we seen anything else from Galgaigar made into a real grade? Absolutely, it's just probably my inexperience on how the field works talking, but I'm definitely sure that they would put out more, like, promotional material. And to be honest, I think the reason they've done Evangelion was because they've done that movie, and they just put out, like, the main roster of Evangelion units just to coincide with that, did they not? Or is that my memory being fuzzy and me just chatting random crap? As the last real grade kit I finished was the Crossbone X2, I'm debating whether I should try the Sazabi or Mark II next. Try the Sazabi. Does this thing not have any ankle joints? We haven't gotten there yet. And I think, I don't know. We'll get there when we get there, Foxy. Fun fact: in JP, this AC's name is Openfesu, which can translate into open faith or open face, and its personal emblem is a face open. Some believe it should be open face. Yep, I've heard that theory before, and I'm neither behind nor against it. And because Japanese translations can be a bit dodgy at times, like, let's say the Lord Astray or the Extreme Gundams, you really cannot take their translations at face value at this point. So it could very well be open face for this thing. And granted, being Valentine's Day, who doesn't want to open their faces? I'm sorry if that was an awful joke. My sense of humor really isn't at 100% today. A 30-minute mission's Arquebus boat in Stream Dump. Oh my god. It looks far larger than I was expecting. And also, yeah, 29. I see the trading card game Gundam assemble set stuff. So we're up to G Quux. But Open Faith still sounds cooler. No, Breaker 4 is dead. Okay, so I'm glad I'm not missing out on anything. I find it weird, honestly. Like, how do you find it in yourself to develop a game and then not support it until it absolutely cannot be? Like, Bandai just has a, like, I don't know, like a habit of abandoning games after they're done with their support. There we go. Was it D15? So one of these. And E4. So there's the ankle joint. So it's like a double ball joint right here. For me, I like to see a real great Valkyrie. Is that something that I don't know of? If we're gonna get more mecha outside of Gundam in real great line, what mecha would you like to see? Well, honestly, Light and Magic. It's the only other mecha I know. But, somebody is probably gonna point fingers at me to tell me to play Super Robot Wars then. But I would also like to see some Code Geass stuff, because like the Lancelot, I don't know much about it, but it looks cool. And if I were to see that in real great form, I'll definitely get it and maybe actually start watching Code Geass then. Okay, so we have A1, A9 on there. The Valkyries from Macross. Ah, I see. Do the high grades transform fully at all, or do they parts form? That's what I want to know. Because if they do a real grade when the high grades can already fully transform, then it's a little bit redundant, is it not? Granted, I said that for the Impulse Gundam, and then it turned out to be far better than I expected. But if the high grade Valkyries don't transform fully in high grade, then maybe it will be a good opportunity for Bandai to flex their engineering again by making them fully transformable. Do I think they parts form? I don't own one. Oh, I don't. So I'm assuming you still haven't seen my shenanigans covering the lights. Just drop it in Stream Dump, Foxy. Have you already done that? Oh, there it is. So you're using Christmas lights for your unicorn then? Still, it's an impressive effort to do some like such intricate wiring work. The high grades are parts from what I believe. I didn't get the Super Robot Wars game that just came up purely because I reject. Okay, Monster, you're being a little bit prejudiced right there. But if they manage to make like Suletta likable in the in Super Robot Wars, then I'd be more welcome to it, actually. I'm sorry I'm being a little bit silent, I'm just extremely tired. But we're almost done with the body, and it will just be the weapons left, and then I can just focus on getting my I think I'm just gonna build my Goku back up. Oh my god, that's some feet articulation right there. This vent isn't lined up properly, and that's very much annoying. There we go. So, yeah, double ball joint. And it looks like you can achieve, like, this level of articulation there. Being such a bulky suit, you would never expect that to occur. And, of course, I completely mucked it up. Mostly because, oh my god, I jumped so far ahead in steps that I completely mucked up the thighs. Oh boy. So, where am I? Note to self, cancel streams whenever you feel too tired to do them. Big feet, yep, big feet. You can't make her likable just because he's really a character. No, I get it. But then again, you can say, maybe say the same for Shin, I don't know. Like Arc 2 Shin, Destiny Arc Shin. But then again, yeah, Soletta is just a blank slate that just got developed in the last few episodes. Too little, too late, I will agree with that. Keep the feet talk down, that's how you summon 2S. Is he even still on the stream? If he is, he will be yapping everybody's ear off. Thank goodness I can have him be abused by Rusty and Raven as a background joke. Yep. I can't believe I messed up this badly. But yep, time to bust out some tools. You guys are never gonna let me live this down, are you? Wait a minute. Literally just realized the opposite of same overall shape. Yeah. My friend suddenly asked me about the Destiny Gundam kits. I'm kind of happy though. I'm grateful for you. Like when somebody you don't really think has an interest in Gundam asks you about your interests, I will take it as like flattery, to be honest, because it shows that they indeed do have some sort of interest in it at some point in time. Right, I think it may be easier to disassemble the lower leg and swap them over instead of trying to disassemble the upper leg. Let's do just that. Let's just backtrack I'm just gonna backtrack on my steps and fix the issue before we move ahead. He wants his first kid to be Destiny, but he's not sure which one he'd pick. Just pick the original one. Like, because the Spec 2 is P Bandai, like the standalone Spec 2, and I doubt you want to use I doubt you will want to have the Zeus silhouette as one of your firsts. And honestly, I would definitely not recommend it as a first gunpla. So just get the original. Not unless you can find the standalone Spec 2 for cheap. Then I'd say go for that. I'm sorry guys, I need to focus and make up for time. Yes, I have it. It was like the second thing Grandma supplied to them. I just need to use them for something. Oh yeah, Christmas lights, then. Excuse me. Yep, just checked. The high grades have transforming parts. So, if they want to make like real great Macross kits, then they should definitely just make them fully transformable at that point. Because look at the Gal Gaigar, it has like a sort of involved transformation, but then they pulled it off really well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually gone and done like real great Macross kits, then they'll pull it off as well. And that's why I'm still kind of holding out hope for a real great Double Zeta still. After asking some more, it went down either MGSD or high grade Zeus Cannon. I guess he likes MGSD more because the light wings effect causes his eyes. Hey, the revive high grade actually still has them, so you can show him that and maybe he'll decide. But if he still wants to go for the MGSD, then sure, fair enough, go ahead. Seeds has to be fun pies. Yeah, I agree with you, George. In Shin's defense, he had a character for a bit. Then Jesus descended upon his series. Yeah. And I remember at some points the voice actor for Shin actually says that this the depiction in Super Robot Wars is the one he prefers or something like that. And then he had to backtrack when Seed Destiny discussion was floating about. Where's the hip? Oh, there it is. I think you realized for some reason my message about Rusty AC and Dynamos got censored. Why? You. Is there anything censor worthy about your message at all? Right. Coordinators are the biggest frauds in Gundam. Shin never had a chance. I wouldn't disagree. Genuinely wouldn't. Wait, did I mess up again? Oh god damn it, I've messed up again! I don't know why YouTube's auto-moderation. YouTube's auto-moderation is like stupid at the best of times. Like, doesn't everything being like handed down to AI just bother you guys? Like, especially with like this moderation stuff. I don't know where I'm trying to go with this, but AI being in everything nowadays just grinds my gears. We should not coordinate, we should innovate. And then bring about the destruction of humanity just because we don't communicate enough. We'll go on full plot of 00. Right, so now I think I've made up for last time, have I? And guess what? Next thing we know, we're going to be talking to aliens. Finally. Got it right. The day AI bubble pops will be a good day. Yeah. The day when the TikTok bubble, AI bubble, when they pop, everything will be far better. Far better off. Have you not been talking to aliens? No, I haven't. What Armor Core told us are AI is a danger to humanity. I'm looking at you, Nine-Ball Chief All Might. Yeah. There's no denying that. And honestly, I think we bring about our own downfall through relying on AI. Not because AI will get smarter than us or something like that. Just because we rely too much on it. Like, in modern day, like, whatever, like classwork and that type of stuff, even like menial things, we rely on AI. What's next? What's next for us if we don't know how to think for ourselves? I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, I think we need to go to a more lighthearted topic. Yeah, for sure. But honestly, I'm just rather tired at the moment, and I really need to make a note to myself to not like do streams whenever I don't feel ready about it. And I honestly feel kind of bad that I had to like ask my parents to accommodate my schedule, mostly just because I don't feel like it today. I'm kind of off my rocker, and honestly, think about the stats on my streams. I've really am questioning whether or not it's like worth continuing to do this. And I'll tell you guys a story in a bit, but here we have Open Faith, well, at least the body done. He's massive, and and here is the RX-78-2 for comparison, like the high grade. So he is a massive kit. And one sec, because here's the more apt comparison, the high grade G-Quux Dom. And even the three-legged Dom looks a little bit smaller compared to Open Faith. So it's quite large. But yeah, now that the body is done, we can finally move on to the oh great. We'll move on to the weapon after I fix up the missing steps on the leg. Oh my god. I'm really out of my element today. I'm so sorry, guys. Well, anyways, yeah, that's chunky. From my understanding, YouTube streams are pretty difficult to get new viewers with compared to Twitch, where it allows for more audience growth. But then again, on Twitch, you're more reliant on stream rates. So you first of all have to be discovered by somebody. And then that certain somebody has to like your content in order to send a raid. And then from there, if the people from the raid likes your content, they will stick around, but maybe not. It's all down to luck. But the reason I'm a little bit bummed out by all of this is just because I'm doing this pivot at the cost of like some damage to my channel, and ultimately I've been thinking over and over ever since I revealed my avatar whether or not this is worth it, whether or not it's worth pivoting more towards streaming and whatnot. And I said in jury stream that numbers really shouldn't matter. All I really need to do is to like do the best that I can. But evidently throughout this the past few weeks of weekly streams, like, streaming is not my forte. Granted, I am trying to, well, I do have backup antennas, so that should be fine. granted, I am trying to grow my streaming audience, but there's a lot of things working against me in that aspect with regards to work, because I don't have like a set few days off, so I cannot do like like have a set day and time like for streaming. So I had to I don't know, I had to make do with what I can. And I tried streaming, well, I'm trying streaming today, but it's performing far worse than ever. And on the other hand, like, I don't know, maybe introducing like streaming to my channel isn't exactly the best thing to do, because I'm mostly a review channel and I never had a face to begin with. And the more I think about it, the more I feel like this idea is going to be a dud. Granted, I want to let it sit for a little bit more before I roll back any changes, but I think having introduced these changes just, I don't know, it just contradicts with what I want to do with them. Not necessarily contradict with what I want to do, but it just doesn't really work in the grand scheme of things. And like I've said, I mentioned in the collab stream I did with Jiri Han, that numbers really shouldn't matter. But in the end, I still have like a lot of issues from like back in the day that kept me in this sort of mental trap. Because I still look at my stats down to the very digits of it. Down to the very smallest digits, and sometimes I wonder to myself whether or not all of this is worth it. And because I also have a kind of separation anxiety that kind of makes me go into preservation mode, in which I want to preserve like as much of what I have as I can, instead of looking to the future, maybe meeting like newer people who would like appreciate what I do on the channel. So it's like there's a lot of things I still need to work through in order to not worry about numbers all that much. And especially because like the channel growth hasn't exactly really been accelerating, even despite the larger channel size. And at some point, there's always that kind of voice that tells me like something has to be been doing I'm doing something wrong, and other like channels can grow quicker than you with far less efforts, and all that kind of random bullshit. I really want to disregard them, I really do, but there's something in the back of my mind just telling me that I'm doing something wrong, especially since I've hurt my growth with the changes I want to implement. And at some points you just can't help but think whether or not all of this is like worth it, and whether like all of this is fair. It's not a good thing to think about, and I'm very aware of that, but at the same time, it's still something that lingers in the back of my mind that I really don't want to keep to a community post anymore, because that's like, I want to be open with you guys. Like outside of me and my formal persona, I really just want to open up with you guys to talk about the struggles of content creation, and especially on my front. And I don't want this to be a pity party. No, I don't want this to be a pity party. I don't want this to be anything more than just me talking about the fear of failure to you guys. But honestly, it's just such a nothing struggle to me, and I really just want to be over it at this point. It's really not worth worrying about, and I'm looking at the wrong runners, obviously. It's not really something that's worth worrying about. Just everybody just grows at their own pace, but at the same time, I really just want to make this channel progress to a point where I can do this full time. You guys know what I mean? I think we can call him the widest receiver. Don't worry, buddy, it's okay. I know the feeling all too well. I've had kids I've built only to realize I've missed parts or steps. Yeah, for that feeling, yeah. I prefer YouTube because you guys are easier to use. Don't worry about it. Literally no one watches my streams and I do them every single time in the week. Don't listen to the fucking voice in your head. Yeah. Morning, Yishare Gamer. I'm sorry you joined in at a bit of a low point in the stream, because I kind of ran out of stories to tell, and there's just a lot going on in my head. Like, obviously, I've had doubts on the on what I'm doing with this, and since I have been going back and forth with Jury, like with regards to like content creation, and never really had a chance to like open up about like my deeper issues, and I really don't want this to go into like a random therapy session, because that's not my intent. And this is the drone pod. But I don't know. It's like doing for some like being in my position, like doing something for so long and like doing something for so long and not getting like the desirable results is kind of heartbreaking in a way. And especially because I want to build up my streaming audience, and at this point it just feels like it's like not really worth the effort anymore, especially when I have like other bigger fish to fry. And since I grew up with like a very achievement based family, they focus more on performance than like what I'm actually enjoying doing. If that makes any sense, they focus far too much on performance that it just formed my mind into this sort of demon that only chases after performance. And I've opened up about this in the collab stream that I've done, and in a way I've gained more self-awareness about the issue at this point. But for something that's so deeply rooted in my past, it just feels kind of hard to outgrow. Morning. I got really pumped earlier for even getting 1 viewer on my stream. Just doing my work on the third-party kits is easy. That's nice. I may need to get it myself, or a copy of the weapons pack to go with this guy from a Raven. Yeah. But I'll see how I feel tomorrow. If it really doesn't feel like it's worth it anymore, then I'll probably just cut streams, honestly, and do it whenever I feel like doing it. Maybe I'll take another year of hiatus from doing streams in total. I don't know. I really don't know my plans at the moment, and in terms of plans, I really don't know what my end game is for my whole shtick. Like, doing all of this, what for? 100,000 subs? Sure. Maybe just having fun providing the information? That's good as well. Twitch is also a dying platform. I see. But what's my end game? I genuinely don't know, and I'm the only person who can answer that question. So please forgive me if I sound a little bit deflated at the moment. Mostly because, I don't know, I'm getting diminishing returns from doing these streams, and it just doesn't feel good. Would hate to see you stop doing streams. I really do enjoy them, but then again, it's your channel. I would hate to stop them as well, but at the end of the day, even if I do enjoy it, like, it's still like the law of diminishing returns. Like, if I'm not getting like what I want out of it, then I might as well just stop doing it and focus more on my actual main videos. Like, at this moment, I could be recording the voiceover for my G-Quack Storm video, or putting my G-Quack Skullgoop back together, and actually finishing off the panel lining and top coating it before I go to bed. There's a lot of things I could be doing. I could even be fucking sleeping right now, seeing as it's past midnight, and I'm still bloody knackered from my 7-hour drive yesterday. So I don't know. There's a lot that I could be doing instead of streaming, and honestly, I would hate to stop I would hate to stop streaming at this point. Mostly because I've invested quite a bit into getting my streamer set up. But if it's far more worth it to put more time into my videos instead of opening up a stream and just, I don't know, chatting to the air, then I feel like that's what's necessary. To be honest, the reason why I kind of act slightly psychotic on stream is because if I don't go real on my internal thoughts, I would never say anything. That's the thing. If you have like a large audience count, then you can bounce off of your stream chat really well. And especially because I'm a relatively boring person in real life, so I rarely have any stories to tell. But I don't know, having a large like audience count allows you to bounce off of like stream chat like more often than not, and then as a result you won't run out of things to talk about. But if you're merely just speaking to the void, then what's the point? And like I said, the fear of failure is definitely prevalent, and seeing as there are diminishing returns with regards to my streams, I just feel like, I don't know, why bother? You know, split the different streaming while working on videos. What do you mean? What do you mean doing some work streams? And to be honest, if I do continue down this path, I would really hope to like progress to the point where, I don't know, where jury actually is. So like, I don't know, over 100 concurrent viewers, and maybe just actually engage with the stream chat. Like actually have an engaging chat with the stream audience. But ultimately, I don't really think this is my forte. I'm not good at continuing conversations. I'm not really good at bringing up conversations. And like I said, I'm a boring person in real life. I do nothing but focus on work. You can probably tell I usually act a lot less loud, especially on the Purple on Discord. Hey Florida sucks. I appreciate these streams, but I was at building, always learn something new from the way you build. Nah, I don't think I'm a good example, honestly. I hold my nippers backwards. What more could you say? She's currently on 66. Nah. I don't really need comparisons at the moment, so it would be good if we refrain from that. But as long as I get my point across, then that's all that matters to me. Because I really want to make this work. I really do. What is it? 13? Wait a minute, OC12 and OC213 must have messed up again. Not unless they're the same parts. Huh, weird. Oh lol. These 30mm armored core kits are incredible though. Gen 4 and 5. Are these parts any different at all? Yup, I was using the wrong one. Great. You can... These 30-minute missions armored core... Yep, I've seen that. You can stream while you're editing or while paneling finishing up kits. That's what I mean. I see. Maybe I can do that. Though, is it really engaging just to see me like paneling while I'm silent? I don't know. I think after this stream, it's I would start to really reconsider whether or not I want to go down this path. So I made a brownie earlier today. How was it? I've had some brownies while I was with my friend the other time, and even though they say that it wasn't really that well made, it tasted fine. We got the fake new Gundam, but not the Alice arcade Gundam. Is the arcade not that popular? We don't even have we don't have the dubious arcade, and we don't have the reverse turn X. I just think that Bandai just don't plan to release those at this point. Heck, anything you can do for stream really is it's really enjoyable regardless of your description of being a boring person. If that's what you say, man. But then again, there are some instances where I wish I would keep my work to myself. Good, it turned out well enough. That's good then. If I could make a suggestion, why not write down some topics to talk about, like opinions on Gundam franchises and news on Gunpla? I mean, to be honest, like, I feel like something like that, I don't really have a lot to say about it. That's kind of like the main reason I stopped doing like Gunpla news. And especially because they come out so sporadically, that if I have to keep up a weekly streaming schedule, then it really isn't, like, I wouldn't say it isn't worth it, but it isn't sustainable. And those types of things, I feel like you have to really rely on bouncing off of chat. I have thoughts of making notes for streams, but in the end, I just feel like I just completely forget to do that. I thought I could just go on a whim and just completely rant my head off, but yeah. What do you do for work if you don't mind me asking? I work in a warehouse. I work in a freezer warehouse. So I basically prepare prepare products, and I pick them, put them on pallets, pack them up, wrap them up, make sure they're ready for delivery for across the country. That's basically all it is. Yeah, I do have some gripes about work, but there's nothing really too interesting to talk about, if I'm honest. As a streamer, you kind of have that Ina vibe. What do you mean Ina? Who's Ina? He just disappointed with Bandai Hobby announcement, lol. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm disappointed? Well, I wouldn't be disappointed because I know exactly what to expect for the Bandai New Hobby event. The Octopus Hololive member. I don't know Hololive. Like, I literally never tuned into Hololive. Like, the only exposure I've had to VTubers are clips. Clips on the internet and jury. That's all it is. So, please give me like a more please elaborate is what I'm trying to say. To be honest, I always want to watch people laugh because the world is not the best place right now. I really should do my best to at least help someone. Sunlight. She's definitely not a cult leader. So D E no E no E is this. And that's kind of like why I wanted to like do my content. It's just to help people out. That's my main motivation. And something in me is just telling me to just stay in my own lane. Like leave the entertainment to someone else who's more adept at entertaining. I'll just stick to doing my videos, my reviews. Help people out with their purchasing decisions by taking the fall myself, and I'll be grand. I know her as an art streamer. She draws sometimes while streaming. I see. She's usually relatively quiet. I should definitely look her up then. At least I only will have to one rifle for now. What are you building? Part of growing is doing things differently, and sometimes that makes us uncomfortable. Thank you, Guilty. But I'm definitely thinking that I should reevaluate on whether or not I should continue doing these weekly streams. Leave the entertainment to someone else who's more adept than I am, and I'll just keep on my own lane. So even if I do stop streaming, I'll keep the avatar around. But even if that's not, but when that doesn't work, then I'll just roll back all the changes that I've made. Like ultimately it's just a test, and if it ultimately has to be shelved, then we had a good run. And look at this thing. Here we have the full-on devastation that is the laser lance. Jesus Christ. This looks great. Others may be better doing entertainment live streams, but we're here because we enjoy your content. I'm glad that's the case. Standard beginner AC for the game. It comes with one basic rifle. Might add another construction detail to it. Ah, I see. So you have the loader 4. Not the loader 4, the orbiter. The orbiter frame. Right, so now it's just the back weapons left. Now the effect part is awesome. Yep, it is indeed. Perfect for the Rubiconian handshake. Laser lance, my beloved. Yes! I wonder if the laser lance and effects can attach onto gunpla. It's just a 3mm peg. So if you can find any arm that has the clearance, then you can go ahead and equip it to anything that you can think of. In fact, I don't think I have any with 3mm pegs around me at the moment. I would definitely demonstrate if I could, but I just don't have the one. Are you gonna review this? Eventually, yes. But since this isn't part of my my catch-up, I wouldn't be prioritizing this because the plan is streaming plans aside. The plan is for me to finish catching up with the 2025 gunpla and get my top 10 list out, and then I'll move on to the more fun stuff. Because trust me when I say this, there is a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff that I really wanted to do on the channel, like full-on replica builds and a lot of build fighter stuff, review some older kits that I never got the chance to or want to redo. There's a lot of stuff that I wanted to do but couldn't do because I spent the last year trying to play catch up. So I want to move on to the more fun stuff first, and when this guy will be reviewed, I have no idea. So please don't take this stream as a sign of me, please don't take this stream as a sign of me going to review this as soon as I'm done. I'm just building it on stream just because I thought it would be a fun thing to do with you guys. So I will be reviewing this thing eventually, and especially because these weapons are unpainted, I'll have to sift through the game, hyper-analyze the 3D model, and then I'll go and do the paint job. And I really hope that the main body doesn't have many missing paint apps, because if it is to be the case, like with Nightfall or Steel Haze or Liger Tail, it'll take even longer to get this video out then. So I'm gonna put this on the back burner for now, get my catch up done, get some actually fun stuff done, then I'll consider reviewing it. Hey folks, hope you're all doing well. Not necessarily Yosin, unfortunately. I'm not really in the best mood. So the only worry is stability and need some base to hold on then. Kinda, yeah. Because the laser lance is heavy, like it's a relatively heavy weapon. What do we say about the Barbatos Lupus Rex's feet? Those have pile bunkers. Yes, those do have pile bunkers, indeed. They were just never shown off in the anime, unfortunately. But yeah. As of now, all my plans have been revealed. It's just like waiting for a kit to restock. The review will come up when it's time. Just be patient. Indeed. This is one of the few times I was able to catch your stream. How long does it take for you to make reviews from straight builds to painted details? It really depends on the kit. Like from a straight build to scripting, that will take an hour or two. And then filming, that will take at least 2 hours. And if you include like recording my audio, that would take another hour, so that's 3. and it'll take probably like 2 to 3 hours for me to edit the videos. One, if I'm actually quick enough, and then it depending on how much the kit actually has, that will affect everything I say, and especially with actually touching up the kit, because if it has a lot of missing paint details or incorrect color choices, that will drag out the time significantly. And since I am committed to doing like decals whenever they're offered, if they offer water decals, they'll drag out the time for another long while. So ultimately, it could take up to like 14 hours to get the touch-up phase done. In total, of course. I'm not stupid enough to sit like 14 hours straight just working on this thing, like working on any kits for that matter. So it will take quite a long time, and ultimately you're getting a 5-minute video out of it, and that's what I think really drains me. And a lot of the things you don't really see from behind the scenes, just because I may only have like 5 minutes of video for you guys, but in the background it takes like so much time. So now you know. Lately I keep finishing gold kits, thinking about gold kits, especially the many different finished Hyakushiki forms. Looks like I should get one. If you do it, like I would recommend you actually have like way to paint gold before you get the Hyakushiki, because getting the chrome plated one, I don't know whether or not it's worth the trouble. So the best way to go about it is to buy the normal Hyakushiki and paint it into your own gold. But I haven't reviewed the Hyakushiki, so I don't know how good that kit can be. What about the Delta Gundam? Is it chrome or metallic gloss? The Delta Gundam only comes with one variant, and I'm talking about the gold one, obviously. But the Delta Gundam only comes with one finish, and it's the chrome one. If you want a flat one, your best bet would be to get the Delta Gundam 2, which is in a flat red. Because the other way to get a flat, like Delta Gundam, is to get the Mega Shiki, which hasn't seen a reissue since it came out. As far as I remember anyway. I was still a small child when Build Fighters Try came out. Excited for the new Frame Arms Gorai. What is that? Actually, I'm lean into Chrome kits since I got Arc 78 Chrome. What's your motivation actually? Because my recommendation can vary depending on what you're looking for. I'm going to eat breakfast. I might be back. Alright, enjoy your meal, Retrograde TV. Oh, the new Gara is like a tank transforming mecha model kit. Its OG form could do something similar to what the Motto does. Ah, I see. I really need to be careful of these fins. They feel brittle already, and I don't want to snap them. I'm in Thailand and the Gundam is 30 km distance, so I can grab some limited kits if I want. I do not guarantee that they'll always be available though. I hate small rod pieces, so do I. Right, and that's the stun needle launcher. Constant part of my loadout. Yep. I can imagine. I think I'm going to sleep after the stream as well. I should do, but I wanna maybe pop by jury's stream and get my Gelgook put back together before I go to bed. I know I really shouldn't be staying up, especially when I'm feeling like absolute crud. But I don't know, I just want to get some productive work done. And after this, I want to at least feel like I've done something. Instead of just sitting in an empty stream, doing nothing but wallowing in my self-pity. That's something I can't control. The Worm Slayer cannon, yes! So I just scrolled down a bit on my phone channel and found one community post down there for some reason. Yeah, sometimes I do get recommended my own stuff on my own channel page. Excuse me. But now it's just the drone launcher. And luckily, this time, it's stuck to the one direction, so it wouldn't have to bother with it. Oh, is this the missile pod? Or, oh yeah, the plasma missile. Who has the laser drone pod then? Because I remember there's a preset that has a laser drone pod, and I forgot who it is. I always thought it was Snail, but it wasn't. Not according to this thing anyway. You're listening to the voices again. Yeah. But honestly, I really hope things will be better tomorrow on my Daemon X Machina stream. Even Freud uses the drone pod. Ah, I see. Is there anybody else who does, except for Freud? I'll be there as well, probably playing Armored Core or Hell Divers. You'll probably be able to figure out how unhinged I am with the bugs and robots. I like Ford AC, he's so cool, yeah. And I do plan to get Locksmith whenever it comes out. Maybe just to flex my psychology knowledge on you guys. I don't know. I think he's the only one. Hey Soka, welcome in. Sorry you're joining in at a bit of a low point. But I'll talk with you about it afterwards. I do plan to get some more stuff done after the stream though. So we're on the home stretch anyway. We just need the plasma missiles done and we'll be done. It's just for it. Okay, it's just for it. So I think it mainly is because like the laser drone pod and these plasma missiles look so similar that I mixed them up. And like I said, it's been so long since I played Armored Core 6. The last time I logged on, I think I was like checking references for Ligertel. It was either the S ranks for. It was either Ligertel first or the S ranks first. I don't remember who came first. I don't remember which came first. I think I was doing the S ranks at one point. But I forgot whether or not that was before or after I did stuff for Ligertel. Snail needs his shell. Yep. Unfortunately, we may not get an Arquebus Malteus. So this is the next best thing. So here we have. Let me actually just check the manual. Yep, that's it. That's it. So here we have Open Faith fully assembled. And this guy, my god, literal chonker right here. Let me bring in my dom again. And there's no competition, is there? Open Faith is the more dominating design. I can probably make those missiles handheld. Well, if you have a 3mm like handle that juts off to the side, then you can definitely do that. There really is no competition, and here I thought that the stun needle launcher was small. Granted, I think the barrel could have been a little bit longer, but it's still a massive cannon on the back. And of course, we cannot go without the activated laser lance. He's a chunky machine. He doesn't fit the design aesthetic, but mate, could you really say no to this? And especially with how the runners are molded, you get backup parts. So if this tip is warped or something, or if you lost the connection that goes into the lance, you still have a backup. And also the same thing would go for these antennas. Like, I think I messed it up trying to push them in, but you also get backups for these. Mr. Arquebus himself. Yep, he's really one chonky boy. I think the one thing that really doesn't fit well is the stun gun. Granted, like, I think this is like a double stun loadout with missiles for backup and the laser lance to deal heavy damage. But such a chunky machine using like a taser essentially just doesn't really suit like the whole design, I don't think. But 30-minute missions, you can look at the stream, it's 3 hours. So it's, mate, took a little bit more than 30 minutes, don't you think? But anyways, that is gonna wrap it up for this stream. And like I said, I will be re-evaluating whether or not I would continue with these streams, but rest assured that I will not be canceling tomorrow's Daemon X Machina stream, not unless I really have to. And thank you all so much for popping by, listening to me rant about stuff, and just listening to me open up about my thoughts, and I don't know, just hanging around. I'll have to check out that one VTuber you guys mentioned. What's their name again? Hololive VTuber Ina. I'll put in a search. I'll put a pin in it. I'll check the content out and see what's what. But there's no 300 minutes mission. Fair enough. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for the stream, and maybe I'll get the video for the G-Quack Skelgook done tomorrow, and if not, I'll see you guys during my Daemon X Machina stream. So, thank you all so much for joining in, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.